If I woke you up in the middle of the night, could you tell me your life's purpose in a single sentence? Most people can't, not because they haven't thought about it, but because they're stuck in the second stage of purpose, unaware a third even exists, let alone how to cross over into it. And the problem you face in midlife is that if you don't upgrade your purpose, then no amount of success will silence that disquieting sense that something's not quite right. So in this video, we'll walk through the 3 levels of purpose together so you can see where you're at and learn how to transition from feeling like there must be more to life than this to a life you love instead. So the first level of purpose is the script you inherited from your parents and your culture. Study for a specific degree, get a respectable job. This kind of purpose is a little like being born into a caste system, inherited, limiting, and pre-decided. So your first task is to avoid or cast off the shackles of parental and cultural expectation. If you do, then you get to graduate to the second level of purpose. Now, this is when you reject the script imposed on you and you become the author instead. You choose your purpose, or rather, your intellectual ego chooses for you. And it always chooses aimed at just 4 outcomes: more money, pleasure, prestige, and comfort. So you pick a career that promises those things and you pour yourself into it. And for many years, this works. You rise, you're rewarded, you build a name, a reputation, a life for yourself. But slowly and then suddenly, often between the ages of 35 to 55, the shine begins to fade. The title doesn't mean what it used to. The wins start to feel empty, and the things that brought you pleasure now no longer even bring relief. That pressure that once motivated you starts to feel suffocating. You look around and you realize, I am in a cage. It's a beautiful cage, maybe, but it's a cage nonetheless. And this is the realization that marks the crucial inflection point of midlife, where most people either numb out and lose their zest for life, play the victim and become bitter, or decide that life is a duty to be endured rather than an experience to be enjoyed. On the other hand, a lucky few break down, which, while a painful process, carries the hidden blessing of dismantling the old story and offering a blank canvas for a more fulfilling narrative to emerge. But the rarest few are those that get ahead of the curve. They intuitively sense that the discomfort they feel is not a random inconvenience or even a crisis, but actually an initiation, a portal into the second game of life, an invitation to pursue the third level of purpose, the purpose that chooses you. Because while the second level of purpose is formulated by intellect, the most powerful kind of purpose cannot be picked, planned, or even forced, because it may only be received. This is the purpose that calls you. In fulfilling it, it fulfills you and frees you as you follow it. It asks only for your gifts, never for your grind. So, what does this most desirable state of affairs require of you? Your work, if you choose it, in the second half of life, is to reclaim the parts of yourself you shed to become light enough to pursue success. That means reconnecting with your frazzled nervous system so you can come out of survival mode and into vitality and ease. Clearing the frustration you feel so you can fill the emptiness in your chest with the joy, awe, and wonder you've forgotten how to feel instead. If you do this work, you create the space to ask this life-defining question. Not what do I want to do with the rest of my life, but what does life want to do through me? But the great tragedy of the second half of life is most people never get here. They stay too fried to feel, too distracted to listen, too afraid to level up from a game they've already won. And so they play not to lose and double down on a definition of insanity, doing what they've always done while expecting a different result. So if you're aiming for more purpose, you might ask yourself, do you have the courage to pay the price of living an extraordinary life? What would you be willing to let go of to live the life that's meant for you? Because your real work now isn't to play the first game of life better. It's to succeed at the second, which is simply to make your inner experience of life as rich, alive, and aligned as your outer one looks. If this resonated with you, please go ahead and like and share it. And if you're one of the rare few starting to question the old game and you're ready to step beyond success into the adventure that's calling you, then you'll find everything you need at resonance.global.